Now it's time for Lefties Losing It, and we have so much content. The Lefties have been extra crazy over the Christmas break, so get ready for a barrage of woke lunacy. Let's start in Canada, where the neo-Marxist himbo himself, Justin Trudeau, has finally realised how loath he is and is stepping down. I wonder if over the last few months there were any clues to his unpopularity. Take it away, rock legend Mick Jagger.
I mean, we love your Mr. Trudeau. I mean, his family's always been such big fans of our band. By the way, congratulations on the Canadian soccer team getting to the semi-finals.
Very skillful of Mick there to just quickly change the topic to soccer. Yes, the Rolling Stones, I don't think, are too used to hearing booing at their concerts. Justin Trudeau was a media darling, the picture-perfect progressive male feminist, but the people in Canada have finally seen through him. He has caused untold damage to the country, and Canadians are no longer shy about confronting him, whether it's in the streets or in a diner.
Mr. Prime Minister, please get the out of BC.
Have a wonderful day now.
Yeah, you suck.
Yeah, that's him, all right.
Now, many deranged folks have been utterly broken by Donald Trump, and there are also those who we once thought were sane and mildly intelligent who have allowed TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, to completely destroy their standing among thinking people. And no man better demonstrates that than Sam Harris, a member of the intellectual dark web, remember that? But turns out he's just a massive hysteric. Here's Sam Harris, who's now a ballistic expert apparently, embarrasses himself by questioning whether Donald Trump was actually shot. Even fellow TDS sufferer Bill Maher was left shaking his head.
I'm surprised that a rifle round making any degree of contact with an ear wouldn't do more damage. I think a shattered piece of shrapnel from a teleprompter is far more likely to have done that to his ear than a rifle round.
That's so silly.
Well, have you seen what rifle rounds do to human bodies?
I know, but like, if it just hit it by the slightest possible degree, it just, it makes much more sense. The guy behind
Well, no, but I do, no, there's no question there were rifle rounds flying. I mean, someone was killed. I'm not debating that at all.
Oh, he acknowledges that Corey actually died. I mean, what an absolute disgrace Sam Harris is these days. And if you think I'm being too hard on him, remember this from a couple of years ago when he said he didn't even care if Hunter Biden had dead bodies in his basement. This guy is deranged.
I mean, Hunter Biden, at that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had the corpses of children in his basement. I would not have cared, right?
Now, I'm going to bring you plenty on the suicidally stupid lefty policies that have devastated California and hamstrung the ability of firefighters to fight fires. But first, let's check in on a typical Californian leftist who somehow finds a way to blame Donald Trump for the fire response in a state where the Democrats enjoy a supermajority.
So we should have seen this coming. Instead of reaching out with compassion to the people in my city, Los Angeles, for losing everything in the fires, miserable Trump and his cronies are politicizing it, of course, for their own advantage. They're blaming Gavin Newsom, they're blaming the Democrats. Funny, he doesn't blame the red states for hurricanes and tornadoes and floods. No, he's a miserable man out for his own good. And by the way, he doesn't believe in climate change. It's a hoax. So you know what? We are in big trouble.
Where do you start? Well, the difference between hurricanes and tornadoes and fires is you can't cause a hurricane or tornado or fight a hurricane or tornado. You can only do a stellar rescue and recovery job, which Ron DeSantis and others like him managed to do. But you can do plenty to prevent the severity of fires, like managing the fuel loads, forest management, water management, having a well-resourced fire department. plenty, and we'll speak about that a little bit later. But first, let's check in on just how violently deranged the left have become, where they literally defend and indeed celebrate murder on the streets.
So the CEO of the multi-billion-dollar United Healthcare Insurance Company was shot and killed this morning in New York City. And I will say that it is pretty tragic that the shooter was only able to get one of them. But it's a good start. I mean, it's a good foundation. Good. We can only move up from here. And before any of you come at me with, "Oh my God, I can't believe you'd say that," go yourself. Seriously, go yourselves.
Now, I bring you worrying news about Rosie O'Donnell, whose TDS may be causing an outbreak of herpes.
And look what I have on my lip. Everybody's been saying, you have herpes all this time, and I never had a cold sore in my life. And now I have a cold sore. And it makes me think that perhaps this weird pimple that had a tiny little head was a cold sore too. So I don't know. I will let you know tomorrow if I do in fact have herpes, as some of the taunting from the MAGA people in the last couple of weeks. Hasn't it been fun, ladies and gentlemen, to be standing in direct opposition to everything he is and represents? And always have been. And always will be.
She's right. The feud with President Donald Trump goes a long way back, years and years. You might remember this from 2016.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't. Your Twitter account...
Now, let's check in with leftist Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. She's now made her Broadway debut, yes, in a production called & Juliet, which is a queer twist on Romeo and Juliet. Of course it is.
Female empowerment. Sick. I like it too. I think what I like about it is that I am having a very strongly negative reaction to it. Like I hate it. Which makes me think it must be brilliant.
Oh, you'll remember that's the woman who didn't know what a woman was. She thought you had to have a biology degree to answer that question. Let's go to the next clip. It's pretty incredible. And if you want to see the decay, the lawlessness that exists in parts of America, then this clip demonstrates it perfectly. Here you have thieves threatening to call the cops on the storekeeper if he doesn't open the doors so they can take their loot home.
Stupid. I might as well just put that down.
Who's opening his door?
What?
Open the door.
All right, put that down.
Okay.
You go ahead and put it over there.
You have activated our door control. Don't touch me. You don't have the right to touch me. No, not all my kids.
Put your kids away. Go call them. Call them.
You can't touch me though.
Call them then. Go ahead, call them.
Whoa.
Go ahead, put that down.
Come on, y'all this way.
The sense of entitlement is off the charts. Let's look at a new Netflix program. I think this is a movie that looks like it was made by the jokesters at Babylon Bee. This is a true story. This is not something they've made up, but I've got to say, as lefties often do, they will destroy the telling of this important story with their usual self-delighted idiocy. This is a movie called 6888, starring Oprah.
Mr. President, this assignment is proving to be a logistical nightmare. Even tried the Women's Army Corps.
You mean the White Women's Army Corps?
Well, is there another?
Unspeakable, unspeakable. They did not send us because they thought we could do it. We are here because they are sure we cannot.
Now to this attention-seeking victim who is complaining about a wine tasting at a castle because he was misgendered again.
Our server said, "Yes, sir," when I was asking some questions, and I said, "Oh, no, I'm actually not a sir. And instead of apologizing, or I don't know what else you would do other than apologize, they just walked away. Did not acknowledge what I said, just walked away. We saw the server like whispering to a manager, and a few minutes later, the manager came over and, really big smile, not acknowledging at all that the misgender had happened. And I say, hey, look, the last person, they misgendered me and that really hurt. And they just walked away. And the manager said, oh, well, some people just aren't as progressive as you. And then they gave us a nice little chocolate that suggested they wanted our money but didn't want to say sorry. So we left and got a full refund.
So they annoyed the servers, got a free meal, and they're still complaining. Let's go back to the devastating California fires and the DEI madness that has afflicted the estate, the far-left Democrat stronghold of California, where the LA Fire Department Assistant Chief, Christine Larson, has made statements like this. When we talk about woke lunacy, folks, this is what we mean.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
Where does one start? I don't care if 0.5% of firefighters are female. The last thing I think any sane person cares about if faced with a deadly fire is the diversity of those who are rescuing me. Can you believe she actually said there, it doesn't matter if she can't carry a man to safety because he shouldn't have got himself in the wrong place? That's the attitude we've got in the fire department. Now let's check in with LA Mayor Karen Bass, who had these words of comfort for her constituents after returning from an overseas junket.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster?
Now, she promised she will not use her position for these overseas trips, but she was gallivanting around Ghana when the fires started. But the lefties are turning on each other in California. Here's LA Fire Chief Kristen Cowley admitting that she has been failed by the City of Los Angeles.
Did the City of Los Angeles fail you and your department and our city?
It's my job to stand up as a chief and exactly say justifiably what the fire department needs to operate to meet the demands of the community.
Did they fail you?
That is our job, and I tell you, that's why I'm here. So let's get us what we need so our firefighters can do their jobs.
Did they fail you?
Yes.